Welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about how bar and column charts work within Power BI. So this is basically a bar charts when labels are long or you have many categories. So let's say a bar chart, for example, a lot of times if you have many categories, one mistake people will make is they'll have a bar chart, for example, but they'll do it horizontally. If you have like 50 categories and it's horizontal, it looks a little bit messy. So right here we have total sales by country. What you're going to want to do with that is you just want to make it scrollable. So if you were to drill in and do different things, it would cause you to have more room and see those trends a little bit better. So that's one way and one reason why you'd want to use a bar chart in a lot of situations. Additionally, we have a column chart, which is really important. So here we can see we have a clustered column chart here in Power BI. And then this one was called the clustered bar chart. So why would you use clustered? Well, they have some features here like analytics and things like that. So if you use the clustered ones, you get a little bit more features. So I'd recommend, you can add the average line and things like that. They're a little bit easier. Same thing with this one, you add that line so you can get the averages in there and different things on the analytics side. So that's why those clusters are so good. So if you use a column chart for a few categories on the x-axis, so just a few categories here, we see that they're there. The channels, partners, enterprise, and all this stuff is here. So that's what you're looking at here. And then you can really see that is working. So where is these values coming from? If you look over on this side, you can see the key measures. So we see a key measure, total profits being utilized. Total profit equals sum financials by profit. And then we can see that the segment is also in there. And it's dropped on the x-axis for total profit. So if we go over here, we can see the same. We see country is on the y-axis. The y-axis is up here. And then its opposite x-axis is on the side here. So y-axis is typically vertical and the x-axis is horizontal. So if we go over here and we take a look at sort by value, you can see that the story reads top to bottom. So you want to make sure you're sorting by the value. So yes, you can sort different ways, and I think it's very important, but we want to make sure, we're getting that sort order in there and things like that. So we can make sure that we're doing that. And I think that's really important that you're also sorting. So make sure you keep that in mind. Even though right now we don't have a heavy sort going on, it does let you kind of play around with it and do different things there. So jumping over to keep one measure per axis, don't overload a chart. Typically this is going to be the thing with bar charts is you want to keep it very simple. You don't want to overload it. You don't want to do any crazy things. You just want to keep it simple. So for instance, if we go to this right here, we can see, this is the data right here. We can see that measure. If we go up to that measure, we can see some different informations like measure tools, how to kind of make it look and do things, but we want to have one measure typically in those situations. So that's kind of the key thing there is you want to make sure you're not overdoing it and you're doing it, just one value at a time. Don't overload your viewers. I think the biggest mistake people make is they overload their viewers. Keep it simple. It doesn't need to be a piece of art. It needs to be something that's easy to understand when you quickly look at something. And the biggest mistake that people make is they just go in there and they do these crazy things, but there's no reason to do that. Like there's no reason to do that. So this gives you a good idea of how to create those charts. You just drag and drop your stuff in here. It's pretty simple. So for instance, if we take the segment out, we would lose a segment, right? Then it becomes one. So we could throw a different one in, like the country one, and we do exactly the same thing as what we have over here, just a different view. These type of things are very helpful and kind of just help you update that and drag and drop. So the great thing about Power BI is a lot of this stuff is drag and drop, and you're able to do that. So bar charts and column charts and all that jazz are just really helpful for just doing very good things when it comes to Power BI and keeping things simplified so that your users can see this. I do want to go over also one thing that will also come up is you can go over here and you can take a look at different options here with your data. You know, what do you need here? What do you need to have in your view? Like data labels, you might want to have those on there. That's a request that comes up a lot. So you click your format your visual, then visual. You can see we're on the visual category of format your visual, and you can turn on data labels. And if you click down into it, you can modify those and do different things. That might be something that you really want to update and do different stuff on to make it look nicer. So that's how you update your charts, so your bar charts and column charts in Power BI, how they kind of work. And more videos on the way, so make sure you check them out.